When I tore my ACL, it definitely had a threat to my identity as an athlete. And it's definitely made me nervous of how people would see me.
Dominic's childhood was very active. He was always outside playing baseball, football, and basketball.
I was really excited to play football because I've always wanted to my whole entire life. When my mom figured out that there was Safe Sports athletic trainers, it definitely made it more comfortable with me playing sports.
Once Dominic started high school, it was great knowing that we had Safe Sports there to evaluate the kids if there was an injury.
When Dominic played sports, usually mom was there, but with Safe Sports in high school, it put our mind at ease.
Dominic had great expectations going into his senior year, especially game film. During COVID, they didn't have much game film. So he really, they had a brand new field, so much to be looking forward to, getting ready to play for college, seeing colleges watch him play.
Our scariest moment with Dominic is when we got the call that he thought he did something to his knee.
Dom was injured during the spring of his junior year at an off-season training practice.
I was running a dig route, and right when I cut on it, I just felt it pop. And when I was walking around on it, it kept on shifting out of place, and that's how I knew something was definitely wrong.
He called me from the field saying, "Mom, I did something to my knee." That was probably the scariest moment because he has a really high pain tolerance, and when he called me, I knew he was worried.
The first call we made once Dominic called us was to call Safe Sports.
So Dom came into the clinic. One of our athletic trainers was able to come and evaluate him. And after a thorough evaluation, unfortunately, we determined that Dom had torn his ACL. It was worst case scenario for him.
When I tore my ACL, I was scared of the possibility of not being able to play college football.
Dom and his family had a decision to make, ultimately between choosing to play with a torn ACL or going in for surgery sooner to start his recovery process.
If I was going to be able to play, I was going to have to work harder than I've ever worked.
Dom decided he was going to play. He and his family, as well as our team, all knew that it was going to take a lot of physical and mental work to get him back on the field. And it wasn't a guarantee.
There was definitely days where I either didn't want to do it or my knee just hurt to really bad. But having the athletic trainers at Safe Sports be behind me and be able to just help me through the process, it definitely helped me keep on going with what I wanted to do.
Towards the end of the summer, we started to make the transition from working just in the clinic to also working with me at school. We continued to work on his strength. We continued to work on his function. It was really important to Dom that he be able to do what he needed to feel confident returning to play.
So a couple days before our first scrimmage, I re-injured my knee.
It was a rainy day, a few weeks into preseason, when he was working on a drill. He stepped and twisted wrong, and I got called from the other end of the field. The hardest call I've ever had to make was to Dom's mom to let her know that Dom was in a lot of pain. He had twisted his knee at practice, and ultimately Dom had decided that it was time to shut it down and go in for surgery.
He was very upset. He knew he was not going to play his senior year, but he was optimistic that he would be ready for college.
So when Dominic found out that college coaches were still looking at his film from his junior year, it was kind of put our mind at ease and knowing that he is going to play college football somewhere.
Dom continued to be recruited. I loved to hear about his college visits, visiting campuses, meeting coaches. He was really excited about the opportunity to play next year.
When I found out people were still recruiting me to play college football, it definitely made me feel like I made the right decision.
So with our youngest child going into high school in a few years, we feel very confident that when he plays high school sports that he'll be taken care of just like Dominic has been.
I would encourage people to donate to Safe Sports. If you have an athlete, you know an athlete, it's going to a great cause. You go to a game, you see their familiar faces. They are a sports family to our athletes.
I'm just really excited for what's to come, knowing that I'm gonna be able to play just completely makes me feel great, and just the future just feels very bright.